Kitchen today with Lucy from Greer is working on a Greek chicken salad. But Lucy, more importantly today, we wanted to send our thoughts and prayers out to your cousin. Tell us a little bit about your shirt here.
My cousin Catherine Galanis Vickers is having surgery today. So she's fought foot cancer for 3 years and it just keeps coming back. And the only thing that they can do now to prevent this cancer is to amputate her foot and a portion of her leg. So she's up at Duke right now with family, and her surgery is this afternoon. So any prayers that can be said for her, we will truly appreciate. I know she will. And so we're asking everybody to wear yellow today. So I was really glad that the segment fell today, so we could just get even more prayers. I mean, that's all we can do at this point, and she's been truly incredible. So I wanted to make a Greek salad for her. I mentioned before that you know, I grew up just down the street from them. We did, and so it's kind of a joke in my family. I would always call my aunt and say, "What are y'all having for supper?" And if I didn't like what my mom was making, then I would get on my bike and ride down to their house and eat. So my main concern was always, what am I going to be eating? And so my aunt Nancy is a really good cook, and her kids are good cooks too. But they always made this Greek salad, and it's always just so good. So I thought I would make it today. And Catherine was really funny. I mean, she would always eat like tomatoes like apples.
Okay.
She would just eat like spoonfuls of yellow mustard. Hey, I haven't even thought about that yet. They're gonna laugh when they see this. Yellow mustard. She would always like make her own pickles in the refrigerator with cucumbers. So she's really funny. And so we already got started on our chicken. So I just did a quick little marinade on it with some olive oil and lemon juice and garlic powder, oregano, and salt and pepper. So I already have one that's kind of ready to go.
Oregano is one of those things that's kind of one of those Greek spices traditionally.
Yes, I always have scads of it on hand. Of course, you know, my husband's Greek, and his family, they're all really good cooks, and they cook a lot with oregano, and I do too. So yeah, I keep it on hand. So I just let this marinate, like I said, for, you know, however long you can. And at this point, you could grill it. You could use a grill pan. You could just put it in the oven. But I'm just gonna, you know, just brown it on both sides, and then they're kind of thick, so we can just finish it off in the oven. So however you want to cook it.
The other great thing about Greek salad traditionally too is how many health benefits there are to it. You know, sometimes you go and you get one of those salads with a lot of cheese on it, or the dressing that's high in fat and all that kind of stuff. Greek salad traditionally doesn't have all that going on.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And of course, when you're making something at home, you can put whatever veggies or whatever things you like in it. So today, like you said, there's lots of veggies. I'm using red onion and carrots and cucumbers and tomatoes, and of course Kalamata olives and these pepperoncinis and feta cheese. So back in the day, you know, before really feta cheese was readily available, like when I was growing up, they certainly didn't have it crumbled already. So I decided to buy it in the block because this is what...
throwback.
Yeah, that's what they always had at their house. You know, we'd have to crumble it up. So we're spoiled now. You can buy it crumbled, but I still like to buy it in the block. But feta cheese is not a really fatty cheese. It is good for you too, and it's so nice and flavorful, and it'll crumble just perfectly. And so the dressing that we're going to do is so simple. Like you said, we're just going to use olive oil. So, you know, we're not going to have any mayonnaise or anything creamy in there. And then they always use this Cavender's Greek seasoning. And they've used this, I mean, I don't even know, I need to look on here what year it came out. But they've used it as long as I can remember growing up. So we're going to use that.
It's been around since the beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time, 30 years ago, because that's how old I am. And also, they always use this rice wine vinegar. So they never measured. It's so funny, when I started doing these cooking segments, I mean, I never measured, you know, when I'm cooking at home. But now, since I have to do a recipe, I have to kind of measure everything. So they always just kind of threw it in. So I did my best coming up with this recipe to give y'all measurements out there. But when we mix it up on the last segment, you know, we'll just kind of eyeball it.
Well, that's a good point as well, too, because if you are following the recipe, but if you want a little more or a little less of something, feel free.
Yes, feel free.
This is America.
That's right. We can do whatever we want.
All right. Well, listen, once again, I just wanted to say our thoughts and prayers are with Catherine and her entire family and y'all, and we wish her the absolute best today. We will come back to finish this up. And again, I know Chatsy mentioned we want to mention your Robertsdale store.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit.
Okay.